So today I want to talk about something very, very important. Rayleigh versus Kaido is definitely going to Kaido. Now I can explain this, so bear with me. I'm gonna go on a little bit of a rant because I do think it is one-sided, the argument for Rayleigh versus Kaido. I do think it leans towards Kaido, any way you put it. Like any way you try and stack it, it actually does not lean towards Rayleigh at all. So I'm gonna break it down as best as possible. Let's start with portrayal, because apparently some people believe that Rayleigh's portrayal is better than Kaido's. So I'm gonna start with the worst argument I know of, which is Rayleigh is Roger's right hand. I don't know what that's supposed to mean, as if Kaido isn't strong enough to be Roger's right hand. I don't know why that's an argument, but we're gonna address it. Basically, if you look at every single pirate crew on the planet, there's literally no crew that can beat Kaido. Like I'm talking, if Kaido wanted to fight the entirety of the Whitebeard remnants by himself, he'd wipe them. Like low diff. If he wanted to fight the Blackbeard pirates minus Blackbeard, obviously, he would wipe them. If he wanted to fight the Straw Hats minus Luffy, he would wipe them. My point is, when we talk about like, oh, Rayleigh is Roger's right hand, what is that supposed to mean to me? Like, I don't know why that's an argument. Now, I'm gonna use Oden to explain why Rayleigh is just not equal to Kaido. Like, there's literally nowhere in the story you can find to like get evidence for Rayleigh over Kaido. It's just never going to work. So we first see Oden, he clashes with Whitebeard, and it's made pretty clear Oden is stronger than the commanders because Whitebeard tells him to stay back, something dangerous is coming. So there's two different arguments you can use. So I'm gonna start with the manga argument. If you use the manga alone, he comes in, he clashes with Whitebeard, and they start talking, and Whitebeard tells him he's too strong to be on his crew, right? Then we get to the Roger scene, and Oden gets blown back, and then he gets back up. He's like, I cannot let that slide. And he wants to go back and fight Roger. Obviously, Whitebeard interrupts. Okay, now if you use the anime, he clashes with Whitebeard, he gets punched, he has nothing but a scratch on his face, and he gets up. Perfectly fine. We go to the Roger scene, he gets blown back, gets back up, tries to fight, Whitebeard interrupts. Same scenario. However, with the anime, it actually gives us a little bit more information on where Oden places in like the scaling of the world, right? So we got Oden versus Gabon, and when we look at Gabon, he is obviously Scopper Gabon. We got Silver's Rayleigh, and of course Goldie Roger, and it's obviously gold, silver, copper. So, play on words, original monster trio type thing. So just going off of the portrayal of the current Straw Hats, I would say that Gabon should be pretty close to Rayleigh. Also, he's the second commander, so he should be pretty close either way. I don't think Rayleigh is stronger than two Gabons. I don't think that's possible. I think that's just wink. I don't know how strong Gabon is, but judging off the dynamic of the crew, I wouldn't assume that Rayleigh is twice as strong as Gabon or anything like that. But apparently, especially not 3 times. Like 2 times is like the max. There's no way he's 3 times as strong as Gabon. That's just ridiculous. So Oden fights Gabon, and then when he comes back to fight Kaido, this is a 20 years younger Kaido, he comes back to fight Kaido, he's multiple times stronger, right? So if you want to use the anime, it does not help the argument. If you want to use the manga, Oden looks better in every single way, because in the manga, we never see the end of the clash. All he does is clash with Whitebeard. And in the manga, same way in the anime, he gets up after Roger hits him. He gets up. Perfectly, obviously not perfectly fine, he's bleeding, but he gets up. So if you want to use the manga, Oden's still a stud. You want to use the anime, it gives much clearer evidence that Oden is stronger than Rayleigh, because he fought Gabon and then got multiple times stronger. So fast forward 20 years, there's no way Rayleigh's as strong as this Kaido. Because even back then, you can make the argument that Oden and Kaido are still stronger than Rayleigh, even back then. So right now, there's just no chance. Right, so let's move the focus. 20 years ago, the Whitebeard pirates fought the Roger pirates for 3 days straight, and 3 nights. And this is not the first time they've done it. Rayleigh mentions that every time they battle, it turns into a gift exchange, which means that Whitebeard pirates and the Roger pirates fight all the time, which is pretty obvious because Whitebeard and Roger are rivals. So pretty obvious, right? So which means that Rayleigh is literally not strong enough to solo the Whitebeard pirates. He's not. He just isn't strong enough to do that because obviously he's stronger than Marco, but Whitebeard has more people than Roger on his crew. So while Roger has like 2 people who are like drastically stronger than Whitebeard's commanders, Whitebeard has more people. So that's probably how the battle became even, right? However, no matter what we're talking about, 20 years ago Kaido or current Kaido, Whitebeard's crew 20 years ago or now is not challenging him. Like, I'm talking about the whole crew. We already saw Wano. He's fought 15 people, and the weakest of them are 3rd commander level. The Scours, the weakest of the 15 people he fought, are 3rd commander level, right? We got Ashura versus Jag, Cat versus Jag, Dog versus Jag. I don't even gotta explain it. We already know. And then we got the 5 Supernova, right? 1st commander and up. And then you got Luffy and Yamato and Zoro, Advanced Conqueror's Haki, still taking it. Doesn't matter, because already there, it's like just proof enough. I don't even have to keep going, but it's proof that like Kaido is not being challenged by any pirate crew without like a Yonko as a captain. There's like, if you don't have a captain strong enough to fight Kaido, your entire crew is doomed. Like, he's a one-man army ever since he was 10. Genuinely. And this makes perfect sense anyway, because Rayleigh is not even as durable as Kaido, and he shouldn't have more endurance. So, what's another argument I like to hear? Oh yeah, another part of portrayal, the Dark King. So this is another argument I hear all the time. Well, Rayleigh's the Dark King. You don't even know what that means. Like, why are you using that as an argument? I don't even understand how that's in your vocabulary. Like, that's the same as using a word you don't even understand, like as a part of your essay. You're arguing with something we don't even know the definition of. Nobody even knows what that means. And even if we did, I really doubt that it's more dominant than Kaido's title, even if we knew what it was. Because even Whitebeard's title is comparable to Kaido's. Even Roger's title is comparable to Kaido's. The Dark King, whatever that even means, I sincerely doubt that it's comparable to Kaido's either way. Nonetheless, aside from headcanon, you don't even know what that means. That's not an argument. I don't know why that gets brought up. So when we talk about physical traits, I mean, we haven't seen enough from Rayleigh to compare, but based on what we know, I'd still give the edge to Kaido in terms of physical attributes. Durability, endurance, obviously Kaido. Strength, I'm leaning towards Kaido. You can make the argument for Rayleigh, I mean, maybe, but like, I'm leaning towards Kaido now. I just don't know why I would give the edge to Rayleigh. I don't know, like, why would I? Okay, so the last point I want to talk about is haki. This is basically the sole purpose of the argument is haki. This is the main crux of the argument, because this is really why people think Rayleigh is stronger than Kaido. So Rayleigh, very, very skilled, really good control. Again, he has never even shown future sight, never actually shown it. You go back to the training with Luffy, he closed his eyes. Yes, he did. Just because you close your eyes does not mean you're using future sight. People with observation haki close their eyes all the time. Unless it is specifically stated he's using future sight, but there's no way to tell he's using future sight, which even if he was, I don't understand why that would be like an argument either, because Kaido can use it too. But whatever, moving on. Advanced Rio, obviously he has that over Kaido, so that's pretty good. Advanced Conquerors, right now Kaido's the only one who has it, but again, as I said, Rayleigh probably does have it as well. However, is it stronger than Kaido's though? Because when it comes to advanced Conquerors haki, or rather Conquerors haki in general, you cannot train it specifically like you can the other forms of haki. Rayleigh himself explains this. It only strengthens with the individual themselves and, you know, who you are as a person. And when it comes to combat, there's literally no one who loves combat more than Kaido, which is why his Conquerors haki is so strong, because he loves to fight. And obviously he's trying to make a name for himself, which he already has. But anyway, the point is, Conquerors haki is directly tied to how strong you are as a person. And again, when you look at every other attribute, it's literally leaning towards Kaido. In my opinion, the only real debate is Kaido versus Roger and Whitebeard. That's a real debate in my eyes. That, like, feats, portrayal, that's a real debate. Kaido versus Rayleigh is literally just because people like Rayleigh. And there's also the argument of like, oh, well, I think Rayleigh's stronger than Shanks, and I think Shanks stronger than Kaido. Well, you don't know that either, so I don't know. Sometimes I think a lot of fans make arguments based on headcanon they already believe, so that also doesn't make any sense. So I don't like doing that. I'm not gonna make arguments off headcanon. I'm just gonna go based on what we've actually seen. And obviously I'm giving Rayleigh a little bit of credit, because I don't want to just say, oh, he doesn't have advanced Conquerors haki, because if anybody would have it, of course someone like Rayleigh would. So I'm gonna give him that credit, but I still don't think he's stronger than Kaido. But yeah, that's all I got for today's video. Just wanted to talk about Kaido versus Rayleigh real quick, because I don't actually think it's that close of a debate. Not that Rayleigh wouldn't give Kaido a tough fight. It definitely would be a tough fight, but I still think it's leaning towards Kaido. But hey, you let me know what you think in the comments, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.